Welcome back to part 2 of our chapter 6 video lecture. Our focus is on how to become an entrepreneur and start your own small business. We look now at online businesses, which is one of the fastest growing segments in the United States. In 2019, online retail sales in the US reached over $365 billion, approximately 12% of all retail sales. And I can tell you in 2023, that amount has increased tremendously, whereas more companies now are going to an online version when it comes to retail sales, and they're getting rid of the actual brick and mortar businesses. With online businesses, they can offer unique products or services. However, it is easy for someone to copycat your success, product and sell imitations on other sites. So you want to make sure that you take the proper precautions. If you sell a product, you want to make sure that you get a patent on that product, if at all applicable, so that you can protect your investment. Boosting your business online presence. How do we do that? Establish an identity. You know, what separates you from your competitors? Are you easy to find? So make sure that when people are doing search for a certain product, that your company is going to come up. So go beyond blogging and create content. So of course, your social media presence is going to be huge when it comes to boosting your online business. Look out for the opportunities. Can I collaborate? How can I get more viewership of my products? Remember, there's also other forms of marketing outside of your online presence. And make sure your website has a mobile option, meaning that people can actually view your website from their cell phone rather than a computer. So, of course, having QR codes and things of that nature that allows people to access your information quickly. And also make sure you are friendly when you're trying to draw customers. Okay. Now, how can the government help individuals to become successful and want to become entrepreneurs? Well, there was an immigration act that was passed in 1990 to create a category of investor visas. Its intent was to encourage entrepreneurs to come to the United States. Okay? We now have what's called enterprise zones. These are specific geographical areas to which the government tries to attract private businesses, investment by offering lower taxes and other government support. So there's also the Jumpstart Our Business Act of 2012, which offers tax breaks in order to raise funds and create jobs. So these are just some of the measures that the government has taken to try to encourage individuals to become entrepreneurs. There's also things called incubators that you may have heard of. These are centers, business locations that offer new businesses low cost offices with basic business services. So with an incubator, they may have 10 different offices inside this building where you as a small business owner can rent them out at a low cost, but they'll also provide you with other services to assist your business. There's the Self-Employment Assistance Program, which allows participants to collect self-employment payments instead of regular unemployment checks. So, as a self-employed individual, there's a system that allows you to get paid as being self-employed, and as being a self-employed individual, and that's not considered to be considered unemployment. So here we have a sample of an incubator. This one is in DC. But what you see here, there's going to be office space within the incubator. But also there will be people there who provide you with services such as accounting services, legal services, and administrative services. All right. So the question is, do you have such incubators in your area? And for those who are in the St. Louis area, the answer is yes. we do have incubators in both St. Louis City as well as in St. Louis County. Okay? Getting started in small business, small versus big business. So, a business that is independently owned and operated, not dominant in its field of operation, meeting certain standards or size, which are set by the SBA, is considered to be a small business. Depending upon how many employees you have, what are your annual gross receipts, which means what's your annual gross income, will determine if you're considered to be a small business. Note, there are over 30 million small businesses in the United States. Okay? Now, small businesses are extremely important. Why is that? Because 65% of the nation's new jobs come from small business owners. As a smaller company, you're able to provide more personal service to your customers, and you can adapt quickly, which allows you to respond quickly to new opportunities. Okay? Ah, here we have Ronnie, the Lulu's dog Midnight, had trouble catching frisbees due to his squinting. So she retrofitted some sports goggles to fit his canine face. And now Doggles, which is her company, get it, Doggles, which now earn about $3 million a year in different products sold, such as dog fashionistas from I can't get the word out, veterinarians, and even offer military canines. So you can think about, is there a problem that you see that can turn into an opportunity to start a small business? Okay. Now, small business success and there's failures. So I've mentioned the number of small businesses. However, about half do not last 5 years. And some reasons for the failure are manager and incompetence. You need to make sure that you either understand how to manage a company, or at a minimum, you have those around you with that experience that you can use as mentors. Inadequate financial planning. Now, of course, you've heard the phrase that it takes money to make money. And that's true. So you have to make sure that you have enough working capital to keep your company afloat. Choosing the wrong type of business. So, yes, I'm passionate for a certain type of business, but will this business allow me to earn a profit? Okay? Now, don't get discouraged. Here are some famous companies that failed, but guess what? They came back. Tommy Hilfiger, the clothing designer. First store went bankrupt. Hershey Kisses, their first company failed. H.J. Heinz, the ketchup and other people. The company went bankrupt in 6 years. Walt Disney, first film company went bankrupt. But Henry Ford, first two car companies failed. L.L. Bean almost went bankrupt in the first year. However, what they did, they were persistent, and in 2023, these companies are still in existence. Okay? Learn about small business operation. Learn from others. Take classes on small businesses and entrepreneurship. A little plug. We have those courses offered here at the community college for those who want to become entrepreneurs. Talk to and work for successful local entrepreneurs. So, do you know someone who is successfully running their own company? Perhaps you can get an internship, work for them, and look at that person as being a mentor. Okay? Get some experience. Gain 3 years experience in the field. So if you want to start your own accounting firm, we recommend that you first work for someone else in accounting to get that experience. But while you're doing that, you can start a part-time small business. So my background, I used to work for Arthur Anderson, one of the at that time big CPA firm in their tax division. But in the meantime, I started my own small tax practice on the side, which now has grown to a business where I have over 300 tax clients. Okay? So take over a successful firm. So perhaps you know someone who's been doing it for a long time. Now they're older, they're ready to retire. You serve as their apprentice, and now you're ready to take over the actual company. Now, you've heard the situation when it comes to if you do not plan, then you plan to fail. Okay? So to start your own business, it's strongly recommended you put together what's known as a business plan. A business plan is a detailed written statement that describes the nature of the business, the target market, the advantage of the business, we have relation to competition, and the resources and qualifications of the owner. This will force the owner to be specific about what they will offer. If you're trying to get financing, whether you're trying to borrow the money from the bank or from investors, they will require you to have first in writing what's known as a business plan. Now, a business plan could take a long time to prepare, but as you're developing your business, you're putting more data into your business plan. You want to have what's called a good executive summary, which is a snapshot of what the company is all about. What type of product or service are you going to offer? And what will make you stand out among your competitors? So you want to make sure that your executive summary reads really well to catch the attention of potential investors. Okay? So getting the plan to the right hands is almost as important as getting the right information on in it. So when they say sometimes it's not what you know, but it's who you know, that is also important. We want to make sure that we get our business plan in front of those who can help us succeed in our business. So this is the typical outline of a business plan. You want to have your cover letter, executive summary, background on the company, who is your management team. This is really important. Your financial plan, where you're going to show your startup costs, your projected income, expenses, your profit, cash flow, how much money is needed, your capital requirement, your marketing plan. How do you plan to market your business? Location analysis, where will your company be located? The manufacturing plan will vary depending upon if you're selling a product or a service, and the appendix could include any other information that you feel is viable to the success of your actual business. Okay? How do you finance your small business? Well, there are different options. Of course, most common will be banks and finance institutions. They have what's called CDFIs, which are community development financial institutions that loan money and provide counseling for those who try to start their own business, especially for lower income communities. Typically, the rates on these loans will be lower than the traditional interest rates. Okay? You may also find what we call angel investors. These are private individuals who invest their own money in potentially hot new companies before they go public. So this is someone who may believe in your vision and wants to invest in your company. With crowdfunding, now there's a large group of individuals who provide donations in support of a company or a product. So again, if there's an organization that believes in your particular vision, you may get crowdfunding. And then with the venture capitalists, these are individuals or companies that invest in new businesses in exchange for partial ownership of those businesses. So you think about the show Shark Tank. Those are venture capitalists with the Mark Cubans, and they're going to invest their own money in exchange for partial ownership of those different businesses. And no, we don't want to purchase any McAfee right now. We have protection already. Okay, that will conclude part 2 of our chapter 6 video lecture. We'll come back with a conclusion of chapter 6. Stay tuned.